Looking to be more productive and jump those hurdles of change and challenge easier? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Thrive in Life with your hosts, Zaheen Nanji.
Hello and welcome to the Thrive in Life show. I'm your host, Zaheen Nanji, and this is episode number 50. Yay, we're at the 50 mark. Yeah. So I have an exciting and amazing guest today. But first, I'd like to say that this episode is sponsored by one of my group coaching online courses called Live Your Best Healthy and Happy Life that I'll be launching in January of 2019. And it's a whole year group coaching program with me where, hey, you get to live your best healthy and happy life. I will have the link in the show notes, and there is a special pricing that will be available to all my subscribers and all my listeners and viewers at almost half price. Shh. So make sure you keep it to yourself, or I would rather you share, but hey, you know what? We all like being treated special. So I completely understand. So I'll have that in my show notes. All right, so let's get on with our guest. Now, Charmaine, is it okay if I call you Shar?
Shar is the best. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So Sharon Massey is a motivational speaker and a certified life coach. She delivers a powerful message that drives home the value of loving and respecting yourself. I mean, this is a great message right now because we're in 2018 and the Me Too movement is huge this year. So what a great topic to bring to you today. She published her first book called Truly Living or Just Surviving. I love that. This book is focused on self-love, embracing our imperfections, and overcoming obstacles in order to transform our lives. Welcome to the show, Shar.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Zaheen. It's a pleasure to be on the show with you.
Oh, thank you. So you wrote a book, Truly Living or Just Surviving. What made you pick that title?
Because that is exactly what I was not doing. And everything in that book is a pretty good idea of what my life was and how things changed. And that book, I decided to also name it that because I know that when I started to actually live my life, it's the best feeling ever because I found that happiness and joy inside out, not outside in. And and at that time I figured, I'm like, I didn't realize what I was missing out on. I didn't realize how disrespectful I was to myself. I didn't realize how I did not love myself enough to put myself through a lot of things in my life that I did go through, and I attracted those things. So that's because I really wasn't living my life. I was living a life that others wanted me to live.
Yeah, which is so common.
Absolutely. And yeah. Okay.
Wow. So tell me how you felt before, where you felt that where you felt that you were living the life that other people wanted you to live. So tell me how that felt to you and how that made you feel.
No, well, you know what? I didn't know any better. So I can't tell you that I felt bad or horrible. All I can say is that I did not have enough confidence in myself to make my own decisions. As a result, it was either my parents or my uncles and aunts that were making that decision for me, to the point that they even chose my husband for me. It was an arranged marriage, which ended in a divorce. That was my wake-up point. That was my rock bottom that I hit, and I said, what am I doing with my life? I remember looking at myself in the mirror when I finally got divorced. It felt like my entire life came crashing down in front of me, and I had no identity of my own.
Wow.
That was one of the most, what can I say, the biggest hit that I took of my life. And I think it had to happen. That event was totally destined to be in my life because things had to change. Universe was looking after me. Universe had to put that situation in my life because enough is enough. I had many signs coming my way, but I just wasn't changing. Change is another thing, right? Because I was very much in my comfort zone and I liked it. Everybody's making the decision for me. That means I don't have to do the work. And it was fine until that rock bottom happened and things had to change.
Isn't it like, funny that, sometimes it's the worst situations that propel us forward in our life.
Very true.
It's when like the way you say it, when we hit rock bottom is when we look ourselves in the mirror and say, what am I doing here? What is going on with me? And I like the part that you said that you didn't know yourself. You didn't know who you were. So tell me a little bit more about the identity. What what did you see yourself as at that time when you hit rock bottom and it
I
kind
saw
of like,
the biggest loser, a failure.
wow.
Somebody who lacks so much confidence that I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror.
Hmm.
I remember looking at myself in the mirror and doing this exercise where I looked at myself and I kept saying, I love you, and I couldn't say that to myself because I didn't. Because I got flashbacks in front of me of all the times that I didn't love myself, that I put myself through so much pain and suffering when I didn't need to, when I didn't say no when I was supposed to, and when I was always a people pleaser, suppressing my own feelings and emotions just to make others happy.
Hmm. Do you think this is a culture thing or a gender thing or both?
I definitely could say it's culture. Growing up, this is what I've seen the women in my house do.
Hmm.
Not that, like the men in our house are not dominating, but I just feel like I come from the culture where women feel that there's the need to always sacrifice yourself, but give all the happiness and love to others.
Yeah.
Being the oldest child in my family, being the closest to my parents, I picked up on that. I'm the closest to them up till this date, and I feel I mimicked my mom in some ways too,
Mm-hmm.
who loves sacrificing and loving everybody, just giving her everything to everybody, love her to pieces. But at the same time, I think the concept of self-love was I had to teach it myself.
And I'm hoping that you taught her as well, or she learned from you as she watched you turn and just blossom.
Yes, because the thing is, when this arranged marriage, of course, went down the drain, she was the most guilty. She's like,
Oh,
I did not want this to happen to Shar. This is not meant to Shar. I'm like, Mom, don't do that. Don't say that. This was destined to happen because look at me. Look at where I am now. And I said, and you know what? I actually wouldn't even want to change anything about the past. And I told her that stop feeling guilty. This is a blessing in disguise. This is the good in the bad that was hidden. It had to.
yeah. I'm so glad that you're saying that you accepted that at that point, or maybe even later, looking back, and you thought that's the best thing that happened to me, even though it was my worst time ever. But I learned something about myself. So now comes the juicy part: is how did you take a 180 and go from that? The person who sacrificed everything, who doesn't have confidence, who doesn't love herself. How did you make that shift?
So after a year of my divorce, I was obviously a mess. But I think what really helped is support from my family. I definitely am. I'm quite spiritual, so I put everything in my God's hand. I'm like, guide me from here because I don't know what to do. I need to be a new person altogether. So for a year, I tried to live in Edmonton and get through it as much as possible. I didn't take any time off from work. That is the one thing I did not alter my life. I didn't sit in my little corner and cry. I did cry. I mean, there were tears. I was an emotional wreck. I allowed myself to be this way. Otherwise, suppressing my emotions was not helping me either. I'm like, I need to let my emotions, but I also need to take charge of my life. And I prayed about it and I said, you know what? I don't want to lead my life in the most depressed way possible. There's many people out there that are divorced and eventually they move on with their life. How can I make it happen for me?
Mm.
I chose that route myself. I had to make that choice because the thing is, in the past, whatever choices I made certainly didn't work for me. I had to wake up. And I had, I did not give myself a choice. This is like, that's the only route, Char. You are not going to sit in the depressed mode.
So this
And
is interesting because if I can just pause you there for a second, because I want to let the listeners and viewers know this, that what she did, what like Shar did, is classic way to bounce forward, where she sought help from her family members. And that's what I always say is that seek help. It's not a sign of weakness. Two, she decided to focus her mind on her work, but at the same time, work herself out. So keeping something constant in life is also good because you're not focusing on the negative all the time, and going to work probably helped her stay in a good mindset. And then third, what she did, which is classic, it's where she changed her belief system by questioning herself and saying, how have others overcome divorce? And if they have, then so can I. And so you see how she changed her belief system there. And that's the first step, by the way, towards accepting and changing. So thank you for sharing that, Shar.
It wasn't easy. I'm telling you, I failed many times in trying to do that. But you know what? And that's how it is. Anything new and different that you're trying will get you to. But the thing is, if you really want to make it happen, you will, despite of all the obstacles. Like, I knew this is the route I want to go, and I was focused, right? Anyways, after a year of being in the house where we lived together, me and my ex-husband, church that we got married to, everything around me was not allowing me to forget it. And then I had to think about something else. After a year when I did not get over it, I'm like, okay, what else can I do? I completely left everything. I left my job, everything. I told my mom and dad, I'm going. I went to the Middle East to live with my other family members, to stay away from everything. And I said, I'm only going to come back when I'm ready. And I went with the mindset, it's going to take me maybe 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. In 3 months, I was back home.
Okay, wow.
It's my home. I miss Canada. This is my home. And when I came back, I felt like such a new person. It's like I just went for a laundry wash and I just got
squeezed and spun around.
Past juices. And the glow that I could see on my face, it's that I accepted it. I said, okay, let's move on. Forget past in the past. I started to make a list of all my goals. I started to started to really have that drive, that passion to, just, this is it. There's no looking back. That's where I'm heading. And this is a new Shar that I gave birth to.
Good for you.
That's why Sharman is who my parents gave birth to. Shar is who I gave birth to.
Ah, interesting. I like that. Change the name too, just a little tweak. Yeah. So tell us about why you wrote the book or who you wrote the book for.
I want to say women. That is who I want to target here. Simply because we women have a lot of love and care we want to give, very naturally too. I guess it is in us to nurture, right? Yeah. But the thing is, we often forget ourselves in this whole equation of wanting to love and care for others. What about you guys? I mean, if you keep pouring from an empty cup, you must have heard that analogy. There's only so much you can give. Eventually, your cup is gonna dry. What's left for you. And it's again, in my book, I've talked about it. It is not being selfish, because a lot of people have that mindset that when you love yourself and you care for yourself, that you're being selfish. No, it's a necessity. Yeah. And we always depend on other people to love us. No, that it needs to come. You need to do it for yourself. Go get yourself flowers. Go do your manicure, pedicure. Why depend on other people to love you first? You need to set that standard so that people start loving you the way you should be loved.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought that up, because you're right. Back in 2008, actually, one of my mentors, Michael Lozier, he's the one that told me that being selfish means self-care.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I'd never thought of it like that until he mentioned it. And sometimes it's just the words, that the way that they're said, you're like, oh my God, of course, right? And even you said something about going out and doing what you want. And I would add to that is that also going for what you want in life is part of who you are and makes you who you are. And getting everyone on board in the family and letting them know that, this is what I want to do, and I'd like you to respect my decision as to what I want to do. And they're not going to say no. They're just going to say, okay, tell us how we can help or what you can do. And I'm sure that's what you got from your family.
Absolutely. And the thing is, I was always the kind of person who always did, I just did half the work that I was wanted. I never put my full 100% effort into anything. And then I became an author. And the day my mom was holding the book in her hand, and she was, we had 2 book launches so far, and she was brought up to the stage to launch my book, to open the ribbon opened the wrap of it,
Nice.
you should have seen the tears in her eyes. And
Oh,
like, she's like, you know what, you made me so, because like I said, when I saw The Loser, trust me, I was because I took nothing seriously in my life ever. Right? To me, it was like others making a decision. It's okay. I don't have to do the work.
mm-hmm.
Today, when I'm an author, this is not something my family ever saw me do. They had given up on me, literally. And in terms of like, this person probably would have no future whatsoever. And I took this 360-degree turn and shocked everybody, even myself.
So do you have your book with you right now?
Not if we get, I don't know. It's not with me right now, but I could certainly grab it really quickly. Would you like me to?
Sure, yeah. And I'll just say, yeah. So while Shar is grabbing her book, I just want you to know that those of you listening, we do this as a video first, and I have the video recording on my website at zaheennanji.com/TIL. TIL stands for Thrive in Life. Again, that's zaheennanji.com/TIL. And for those of you watching the video, know that I also have the recordings on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your podcast. And I would love it if you leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast, because it will really help others know that this podcast is helping you as well. So thank you for sharing. And here you go, Shar. There you go. You can show us the book now.
Right here.
Oh, truly living or just surviving. There you go. I like it.
Thank you.
Nice.
So yes, this is my little baby, which I am very proud of. And the thing is, the best thing, Zaheen, is I learned that I use this book quite frequently myself, because it's a tool that I created, right?
Yes.
It talks about clarity, how to face failure, how to stay more focused. Now, this is not something you do once and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
This is something we need for the entire life, because we're always going to be a work in progress.
Yep.
We always need clarity. We always need to know how to stay more focused. And that's what this book is all about.
So talking about the book and your story, I always ask my guests if you could share 1 to 3 tips for my listeners and viewers on how to move forward, how to build resilience, how to thrive in life. What would be those quick tips and nuggets that you think would help them?
I'd say slow down, stop for a bit, step back.
Mm.
There's no need to rush.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, don't compare yourself with others, because that's where we get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
My sister is doing this is, look at me, I haven't got anywhere, whatever. No, again, you are your own individual person. There's no need to compare. You've got your own strengths.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your own unique qualities. So it's just a matter of stepping back, stop comparing, analyze what are your strengths, what is it that you like to do, move forward with the focus and clarity that's literally where you're heading. Will there be failures? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let that scare you. There will be obstacles. Absolutely. And maybe the route you've picked for yourself may have to take a few detours, but don't lose sight of your goal. That's all I can say.
Oh, okay. Those are great. I like the fact that you say that step back, because most of us are just, with this time and age that we're in, we're just go, and we never get the chance to just step back and just reflect. And that usually happens maybe when we go on vacation, which, and then even then it's like, oh, I just want to relax and do nothing. But we need to step back. And this is why coaches need coaches as well, because we too need help with our own lives, and so I highly recommend that when you step back and take a pause, also get help from someone who can help you look back and take a pause. So thank you for sharing that. We're almost out of time here, Shara. We're having so much fun, and you've shared so many little nuggets that I think is a great way to inspire others. So keep on doing that. And believe me, I can hardly believe that you were this shy or you lacked confidence, because you look and you sound very confident. You sound like a very strong woman who has a lot more to achieve in life and a lot more to share in life. So keep on doing that. So thank you.
Terrific. Thank you. Thank you so
Now,
much.
how can people get your book or find you?
You know what? Facebook is the way. I am a Facebook lover. So please,
Ah,
my family makes fun of me. It's like I spend less time with them. I'm like, that's not true. But no, I love connecting with people. I love talking to people. I'm sure that's pretty obvious now at this point because I love it. And you know what? Just send me a quick message. Say hi. You know, how are you doing? And that's where we can connect about the book, or just simply connect just because we want to talk.
okay, sure. And I know you have a Facebook page, so I'll put that link in the show notes.
Sure.
As well as you have a YouTube channel, so I'll put that in the show notes as well. And if people just want to get a copy of your book, is that on Amazon yet?
It is on Amazon. Yes, absolutely. And
Okay.
I have some like books sitting in my house as well that I could maybe, we can meet for coffee and we can chit chat about it, and I can give it to you then. Just
Oh,
another.
okay. So there you go, people. You heard that. She can give you a free copy. And a free coffee, probably.
There we go.
Coffee and a free coffee when you contact her. So make sure you do that. Well, thank you again, Shar, and everyone. As I mentioned before, if you'd like to join my online group coaching program that starts in January, hit me a message. You know how to find me, zaheennanji.com. And we can chat more about that. I don't know about coffee yet because it depends where you are, but I'm sure we can chit chat. All right, take care. Bye now.
Bye, Zaheen. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to Thrive in Life with your hosts, Zaheen Nanji. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit ZaheenNanji.com. That's ZaheenNanji.com. We'll catch you on the next episode of Thrive in Life.